Dominic Kane, Al Jazeera, Cairo.
Tarek Radwan is the Associate Director for Research at the Atlantic Council's Rafiq Hariri Center for the Middle East, a Washington-based think tank, and he joins us live now. Thanks so much for being on the News Hour, Tarek. Morsi, as Dominic was just saying there, he's now been moved to the high-security prison in Alexandria. I want to ask you first what you make of that, because, of course, we didn't see the other high officials that have been on trial, including Hosni Mubarak, be moved to a prison really outside Cairo, outside the outskirts of Cairo.
That's right. The move to Burj Al Arab in Alexandria prison, this maximum security, it's obviously trying to contain the kind of protests that we would see at the center of government. I mean, that's exactly what it is. It's a containment strategy. The army has been on high alert ever since setting the hearing for this for Morsi's trial, basically.
It is a high security facility. What kind of conditions do you think he'll be held under, and what kind of access will he have in terms of access to lawyers and his family?
Well, human rights groups in the past have described Burj Al Arab prison as extremely harsh, where acts of torture have been committed, isolation, limited access to both family and defense lawyers. The deposed president is of a higher profile, and so we might see most likely a softening of those kinds of harsh measures against him. Nonetheless, it will be an extremely tightly controlled situation.
Okay, so now we've seen Mohamed Morsi for the first time since the coup. We know that he's a prisoner and we know exactly where he is. How does this change things for the Muslim Brotherhood in terms of their plan going forward?
Well, I don't really think it changes much at all. The Muslim Brotherhood has employed a strategy of extreme defiance, of sticking to the fact that Mohamed Morsi is the legitimate president, and they will continue to call for to call this trial, these proceedings, a sham and illegitimate. This is really one of the few strategies they have left, and as a result, this will probably, they'll frame this as an attack against Islamists and Islamism, and it will probably rile up their base, which is really what they need if they hope to keep this momentum going.
Indeed, I was going to ask you about that. I mean, how is it that they're going to be able to get more people on board, widen the base of either support for Mohamed Morsi or opposition to General Sisi and indeed the military-backed government?
Well, I think at this point, their base is as wide as it will get. I mean, only by implicating an attack on Islamists outside of the Muslim Brotherhood can they really hope to gain any additional followers or any additional supporters. However, most of the country, is really, they harbor a lot of anger towards Mohamed Morsi, towards the Muslim Brotherhood, and they will continue to call for his head in court.
Okay, great to get your thoughts on this one. Tarek Radwan, thank you. Doctors and nurses working with the U.S.